Welcome back to Interactive Chat Volume 9. Hopefully, everyone's been having a great week out there so far. This is the weekly show, sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, depending on how long it takes me to get ready, and where we just sit back and talk about some PSVR, talk about some games, and I interact with you. And this time, we have a very, very special episode, because we are going to be talking about the amazing year that will go under the radar of everybody right now, but it's truly been an amazing, amazing year for some releases so far, and I'm going to tell you why. What is up? Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat, Elite Name Squad in the house, Ben L of the Game Cat Army, Aceville, all of you, so good to see you guys. I'm super excited to talk about today's stuff. If you need a little pick me up, if you need a reason to be excited and happy, well, I've got your fix today. Before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, thank you guys to those who went out and bought some of my new merch. That is awesome, man. Of course, it is non-profit merch at this time. Now, if I'm going to be looking around a little bit, it's because I'm trying to do a whole bunch of crap at once. But appreciate you, man. Ben L, et.2k.9, et.2k9.now. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Again, it's not like financial support for me. It's just some cool gear and supporting the cause, really. What is up, Looper? What is up, Bambino Ramos? Good to see all of you guys, man. So let's go ahead and and also thank you to my two newest Patreons, Eric L. and Ryan H., who I think is Nihilus Ryan, the game feline. Awesome, man. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I'm, still figuring a lot of things out, still testing things out, but we are gonna, we're gonna get it together and be ready by the time PSVR 2 comes out. Aceville VR, you can go to streamlabs.com/PSVR Underground, and that's where you can buy merch for yourself. Hopefully there's some cool gear. I'm going to be testing a bunch and making a bunch more stuff. And then I also recommend donating through there as well. It's a lot better to donate because YouTube doesn't take the giant margin of tips that they usually like to take. But guys, 2022, who thought we wouldn't have PSVR 2 by now? Because I sure didn't. Okay, a lot of people did, but I really didn't want to believe it. There's, obvious reasons that we've seen, it makes sense why the delay has happened and stuff, why we have to wait so long. Of course, what I know is Q1 2023. Didn't want to have to wait that long, but in hindsight, it's going to be that it was only a couple months later than what we were expected. And the good thing is from everything we're seeing, everything I'm hearing, I think it's going to be a really special headset. Now, I hope it does well, but at the end of the day, we know right now that we have a kick-ass headset with some amazing games that are going to be coming along with it. So that I'm really, really excited about, and I'll be as patient as I need to be as long as I get what I want. J Meow says, not sure if this was mentioned yet, but interactive chats will be coming to podcast soon. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Yes, it will be available on podcast services as well. And yeah, going to be trying to do this every single week. It's probably going to end up being 8 o'clock just because my schedule, but right now I'm trying to feel it out, get a hold on things. But so before we get started on all the game releases that came out this year, the amazing ones, there is an honorable mention that I have to give a shout out to, and that is my favorite game in VR is No Man's Sky. Now, they just had this Outlaws update. This game has kept updating and updating and updating, and it's become this, and it's just, they're so amazing with these updates. And as you can see in the footage in the top right corner, these are the new solar ships that are just absolutely incredible. Now, I've only scratched the surface with it so far, but I've done a little bit. I will be doing a live stream, a long live stream, where we're going to check out everything. But look at this. Look how the wings like open up, and you have these huge solar panels now. I mean, that shit looks so amazing in VR. I cannot begin to tell you. It is absolutely incredible, and those ships can be found like almost all over the place. There's also like a new pirate station with new, like they've revamped the combat, they revamped explosions, missions, all sorts of things. And some of that stuff I haven't even gotten to yet. All I've done so far is jump in, and as you can see now, there's like a picture of the new space pirate outlaw stations or whatever. They basically took the space stations and made them like more like these like pirate run systems. And yes, there's me warming myself next to a fire, warming my bum next to a flaming barrel. Thank you, Jason Ewan. Good to see you, homie. Good. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, man. And yeah, you'll see some of the ships landing in right now. Those are just, they all look so cool. And like, I have just been going around just trying to gather as many as I can. But my save file messed up, so I got to start over. And I was like, you know what? It's a sign. I'm just going to start over from stream while I stream it, and we're going to do it all. We're going to get ships. We're going to get do the new missions. We're going to see the new explosions. We're going to blow up some freighters, and it's going to be epic. This game is just so incredible in VR. I really think it's one of, if not the best. It is arguably the best game in VR for what it achieves, and just it's the most amazing universe to just let yourself loose in. And yeah, this is even a video footage of a different ship that you can see right now. It's got more rounded solar panels. It is super, super cool. And yes, they do look crazy, and they're really, really awesome. So gotta collect them all, and just can't wait to check out the rest of that. So that I had to give a shout out to that because that just dropped. But I've made a little list here. This is sort of like my top list of games that have come out this year. And let me just say, there's only been 9 releases, but 6 of those 9 games already this early. We're in April. We're halfway through April, and we've had 6 really good games that have come out. And that's what I wanted to highlight today. It's pretty amazing. Usually by this time of year, we have like 1, maybe 2 releases, and like usually they're pretty half-assed releases. They're not even that great. So to be only in April and have 6 so far that I actually would recommend and that are badass, and I'm about to break it down and tell you why, is actually one of the best first halves of the PSVR generation that we've had, and is pretty special. I'm going to remember this forever for being kind of, it's sad that the player base is not as strong as it once was, which of course will come back tenfold with PSVR 2. But, luckily some of these games will end up on PSVR 2 as well. So if you miss them now, it's not the end of the world. And you might even have a better experience. But for those that are still wanting to play PSVR like I do, I play my PSVR every single day. And for those of us that still want to keep playing and not want to wait a year from now for the next headset, there's been some really good shit. So awesome stuff, man. Well, keep it up, Hello Games. They also did the other update earlier this year, the Sentinel update, which was also amazing. This is the second update this year. And actually, Hello Games said that they are working on something else that is just as ambitious as No Man's Sky, and they said that it's not going to affect the production of them being able to update No Man's Sky, and it's also not going to affect the production of this new project they're working on. So it'll be interesting to see if this is another thing that gets VR support, because for just being a random developer to add VR to their game, this is again one of the perfect examples of like a VR hybrid where it's amazing flat screen. And in my opinion, it's even better in VR. Like, it's not even comparable. What is up, PPO Kojima, the Silent Hill game cat? Man, would I love Silent Hill to make a return, but I don't know. There's all these rumors about Sony making another big acquisition that they haven't announced yet, that a huge IP is returning. I haven't seen, we'll have to just wait and see. They could be sitting on some massive bomb drops of announcements that we just haven't seen yet. But We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that would be one, but that would be amazing. That's for sure. We've heard like Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, in VR, even on PSVR 2 as a hybrid. I don't believe it, but I'll tell you what, it'll just make it, if it does happen, just that more exciting. Looper already putting his list out here. Says 6 should be Zenith, Wander, Republic, Stride, Moss, 2 Lucky's Tale. You're not very far off, my friend. So, speaking of, I love playing PSVR every single day still. There's a game I have been playing, and this is, in fact, my number 6, and that is Lucky's Tale. And man, so I love platformers. I love third-person platformers. And I've talked about this game a little bit, but I'm still playing this game. I just last night finished the time trials on it, and let me just say, it's amazing to me how good and how much the time trials enhance this game. Because to be honest with you, I think the campaign is pretty mediocre. I think without the time trials, I probably would have not liked this game very much. I'd probably call it crap, for lack of better words. It's kind of the same thing. The reason I didn't like Mervils was that it was, I could forgive a lot of the things about Mervils, but the gameplay itself was just not challenging enough. And holy shit, are these time trials challenging. They are some of the hardest shit I've ever played. And to be honest with you, it's probably some of my favorite time trials I've ever played. And that sounds crazy, but it's true. They're insanely difficult. Some of the levels, I mean, these are 1-2 minute runs, and some of them took me 2 hours to beat. But I absolutely loved it, and I couldn't stop playing it. So I really, really enjoyed this game. Jay Meow, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. I know you've gotten this recently, and yeah, you're probably going to feel pretty similar to me, but I'm wondering how you do about the time trials. What is up, Imzadi? Good morning. What is up, Jamie Slark? What is up, guys? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you and hope you're having a wonderful day. I am excited to talk about all this stuff, man. So that is number 6. Yeah, the time trials are definitely no joke. But they saved this game for me. I think I would not care. I couldn't care less about this game. Now because of the time trials, I want to go bug Playful Studios and be like, when are we going to get the next game in VR? When is it like, and it's got to have time trials. They got to be just as difficult and insane. And yeah, I hope it's exactly the same. And I hope we do see another one of these because it is so much fun. And it really, this is a great example of the platinum, going for the platinum, really enhancing the overall game experience. Without the platinum, without exploring some of these other things that the platinum makes you do, it's not a very good game. But anyways, so that is time to move on to the next game, which is Republic. Republic VR. Now, this is a game that kind of really went under the radar, and I'll be honest, I wasn't very excited about it. I wasn't. My hype levels were pretty low. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, and I actually really, really love this game, and that's because of its kind of connection to Metal Gear Solid. Obviously it's not a complete like Metal Gear Solid experience in VR, but it's very similar, and I don't think that's a coincidence that the director Ryan Payton worked on Metal Gear Solid 4. Did any of you play Metal Gear Solid 4, by the way? I loved Metal Gear Solid 4. I've loved a lot of them. I wouldn't say Metal Gear Solid 4 is my favorite, but I really, really enjoyed it when it came out on PS3. What is up, all you are is history. Hopefully you're shining up that Lucky's Tale Platinum chair for me. Brax Bro. PPO, yes. This Republic was made by it was made by the same people that made Iron Man VR. That is correct. But this was actually their first game they made after Ryan Payton left after he left some of the other projects he did, like Halo 4, which I never played Halo 4, but All Your Artist History says never played past Metal Gear Solid 2. I actually think that, man, it's weird. I actually think Metal Gear Solid 2 might be my favorite. Which sounds crazy. I don't know if I can say that though. Like, it just feels wrong, but it is a damn good game. What's up, Twitcher? Yeah, I saw Brian doing some Archangel. Dude, Brian played Archangel earlier. I love Archangel. That's a really good game. Hop Along the Badlands can suck it. I hate that game. That game sucks. I don't care what anyone says. It is not a hidden gem, Brian. It is not a hidden gem. Archangel, definitely a hidden gem. I do like the concept of Hop Along the Badlands. I just think it's a terrible game overall. And it was also $25 when it launched. Brax, you've only played Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. That's actually a great one too. That's a lot of fun. Snake Eater, yeah, Bambino. Most people really love Metal Gear Solid 3, and for good reason. It has like one of the best story arcs and everything. And I didn't like the gameplay and the pacing as much. But anyways, I digress here. What is up, Dan Kiefer? But yeah, man, this Republic game is a great mix of stealth and series. And whoa, what just happened to my stream? But anyways, that was weird. But anyways, yeah, and the ending of this game is probably one of the weakest things. The ending was a little cobbled together, like wasn't very cohesive, I would say. Man, a lot of you pouring in here now. So good to see you. What up, Brucey? Two Sheds, Game Cat, meow. Dude, Brucey, the opening to Metal Gear Solid 2. I was trying to talk about Republic. Now we're just talking about our love for Metal Gear Solid, which is totally fine and appropriate, I think. Yeah, the opening by Hans. I think it's Hans Zimmerman or something like that, or something. I don't remember who does it, but yeah, that Metal Gear Solid 2 opening alone is just incredible. And what is up? I saw you, Josh Donatello, the scientist Game Cat. Pass me a ninja slice. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Anyone else I missed? Shades of Gray Matter. What's up, dude? Oh, welcome. But yeah, and this game was $15. It was actually $10 at launch, and it was $15 after the discount. And man, you definitely get your money's worth. It is like a 10-hour game. And I hate that it kind of flew under the radar so much, because anybody that likes Metal Gear Solid, I feel like should check this game out. It's pretty, like, it does some really, really cool things. I really love the stealth. And the one concern I had was that it was like, oh, it's third person, but the way they do it is that you're actually playing as two characters simultaneously, which I think makes up for a lot of that immersion breaking third person stuff. Where you're jumping from camera to camera, you feel like you're kind of just like, hacking into different cameras and then also controlling the thing. So I love it when they do that. I hope third person VR games, reach out to more people, reach more people. And yeah, so the next game we have here for 2022. What's up, Jesse J, the Terror Mage Game Cat? The next game we have here is Stride. Stride is an action parkour game. And man, I was very uncertain about this game for a couple reasons. Like, I was hoping the gameplay would be good. But my biggest concern was the contents of the game. And like, they have huge plans for this game in the future. They've said that they, are adding like a graphical overhaul, a story mode, all sorts of things. But I was really concerned about what the game was going to launch with, and I thought it was going to be like, my guess was that this was going to be fun for about 5 minutes and then end. and then like all the fun ends, and I wouldn't care about it anymore. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, I was really surprised that yes, it has a couple limited modes, but the amount of playtime you can get from those limited modes and the kind of variety and gameplay depth, I think they have a really, really great foundation for something awesome here. And I think it's a great game already, and I think it's only going to get better in the future. But man, this game is an example of what VR is all about. A great example when it comes to like making really fun locomotion systems. Because yeah, we don't like games that give us two hands and then make us sit in one spot, like we're stuck to a chair, or we don't like wave shooters, stuff like that where you can't move. And yeah, I love games with fluid locomotion, things like Sprint Vector, things like Sirento. And the problem with a game like Sirento is like don't get me wrong, Sirento is amazing in so many ways. I even have conveniently have the box right here. Amazing game for its fundamental like core system. But where it struggled was like the game depth itself, the level design, all that kind of stuff is where it really, really struggled. So this game does have the core mechanics, the core gameplay. I mean, it has some of the most immersive gameplay that I feel like I've experienced, where which has the better system, Stride or Hop Along? Stride all day. Absolutely Stride. It's not even a contest. Stride has a better everything than Hop Along the Badlands. Even price and future promising plans. But yeah, the gameplay itself, I think I was not expecting to get so immersed in this game. I mean, the feeling of jumping around from tiptoeing around ledges, hopping around, swinging from zip lines, the shooting, pulling your holsters, and then things especially where I really felt it was like jumping through a window and the glass breaking, and then like sliding and oh man, just so many amazing mechanics here that this game has a bright future. I think when this gets re-released, or when they eventually do like the PSVR 2 re-release with the story mode, with the multiplayer, I think it's going to really take off. I think these guys have a bright future in what they're doing over there. And yeah, and they have a couple other projects that people say really good things about too. I think one's called like Against or something, but really, really awesome game. Cannot recommend enough. Yet another game that launched at like $15. But this one actually did have more success because it even charted on the top 10 downloads list. They saw a little bit of success here. That is hard to do. Let me tell you, in the last year, we've had like 2 or 3 new games that actually land on the top 10 the month it releases. I mean, that is not an easy thing to do. And the first day of playing this game, the leaderboards, or first couple days, I'll say, the leaderboards shot up to like 100, like over 100 that I could see at least. There was what looked to be hundreds of people playing this at launch, which is really, really cool. Braxbro, I'm going to read your comment here. He says, my poor dad, he saw me playing this and he wanted to try it. Sadly, he learned, even if I could tell him the controls, the learning curve. Yeah. The learning curve for PSVR, I think that's a big problem. That's a big barrier. For me, it's like so easy. I can pick up like just about anything and play it, almost anything, if it's done well enough. But yeah, for people that haven't played VR before, or, even some games with dual shocks and stuff that we've been playing, controllers that we've been playing for 30, 40 years, whatever, however long, they're more complex now. And so people that aren't really initiated to gaming, especially like hardcore gaming and stuff, there's a huge learning curve for them. So you give them something like the moves and tell them to jump and do backflips and swing around and stuff, and they just go cross-eyed and have no idea what to do. But yeah, Stride is amazing. Another game I would highly recommend. And that brings us to our number 4. I think I had 7 games actually. I don't even know anymore. Who cares? This is kind of in order, but the next game, now this might surprise some people, but the next game on the list is Moss Book 2. Another game that this didn't even touch the top 10 charts for the downloading. Now, it only had 1 day, so it'll be interesting to see. How this game does this month, and when we get the top 10 downloads of April, to see if this even hits the top 10. I have a feeling it will in the EU, because the EU is always good about buying stuff. But in North America, yeah, I don't know. What's up, Nick the Game Cat? What's good, homie? Stream is kind of choppy, huh? Yeah, maybe I have something to figure out here, but let me remove some scenes here. Maybe speed it up a little bit. Sorry about that. Still got the new setup, still trying different things, and hopefully this will help speed it up a little bit. Maybe there's too much running in the background. I'm not sure, but anyways, hopefully let me know if that improved anything. Hopefully it did. Yes, Looper says, I love the gameplay twist in the last chapter of Moss 2. Yeah, man. So Moss Book 2 is basically, if you're a fan of the first game, then like this is pretty much almost everything you could have hoped for. Almost. It's still about the same length it feels, but they really took the first game and added on to everything, and made it. They really like fleshed out a lot of the mechanics. No spoilers, don't worry. I'm not going to spoil anything. Because I know what you mean, but there's they really fleshed about a lot of the mechanics. A lot of the environments are amazing, and yeah, they really they took a long time for this game to release. I had a feeling it was going to take a long time, but it really seems like they spent all of that time improving and making everything like the most detailed it could possibly be. Just make it look as good as it could look, and everything. And yeah, I almost feel bad about the timing of the launch of this game, because it probably could have come out a little bit sooner. But yeah, like PPO says, he's waiting on PSVR 2, and I think it's going to be amazing on PSVR 2. It'll be interesting to see if it holds up against the game that's, well, I talked about on the last interactive chat that the Polyarch devs were talking about being able to actually reach out and actually feel Quill's fur with the haptics and stuff. So even for me, who's played this, who's beaten it already, I'm actually pretty close to the platinum, come to think about it. There still will be plenty of reason to go back and revisit it. So I'm really excited about that. I hope there is a third one. They don't I don't think they really set up a sequel or anything. So there's not it could happen. It could not happen. Who knows? It really just depends on Polyarch, but it'll be really interesting to see. But yeah, man, I love how they took a couple pages of out of Astrobot's book here and made a little bit better of the platforming in particular. Some of the boss fights and stuff, they're slightly, and some of just the areas in general, just have slightly better platforming. And there is one thing I'll say: if you're absolutely no any ounce of spoiler, maybe be approached with caution here. But I'll just say, I'll keep it as spoiler free as possible. But there's this kind of pinball element that they've added, which you don't know what that means. So hopefully it's not too much of a spoiler, but there's kind of this pinball mechanic that I really, really loved. And I think that's freaking awesome. But Brax Bro says, would you rather have a Moss 3 or something new from Polyarch? I would like a Moss 3 that does something very new, very ambitious, and really, really changes it up quite a bit. I would love them to double down on just all the mechanics again, make the platforming, you make it twice the platformer, twice the puzzles, twice the boss fights, kind of what they did with Moss Book 2. And I hope they just do it again and just multiply it again and keep doing that. All Yours History says Moss 2 is as good, maybe slightly better, looks better. It definitely looks better than the first one. Definitely more environment variety. The puzzles don't seem as good. Now, I could see that a little bit. The puzzles are definitely not as challenging. I hardly got stuck on Moss Book 2, but still was I was happy with it. I'm not the biggest fan of puzzles anyway, so if they sacrifice a little bit of the puzzles for some platforming, I'm okay with that. Virtual Strangers, what up, Wes? Good to see you, homie. So this is the best interactive chat of 2022 so far. Yes. Hopefully it is. We'll see. I've had some good ones so far, but what is up, Mr. 777? Good to see you, dude. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Hope you've been well. You ready for next gen, homie? You joining the fun? Dan Kiefer, I'll definitely get Moss 2, but the price, yeah. The price of Moss Book 2. Now, for me personally, it's hard to justify that price. I was really expecting them to keep it at $30. I thought that would have made perfect sense. But with, I got nothing against the price. I mean, I feel like as I was playing it, I felt like I was playing a AAA quality VR game. And I was playing a sequel to a game that was very near and dear to me. And I felt like it did everything better than did pretty much what the first did, but everything better. So to me, it's a hard pill to swallow, but I would have done it. I would have been happy with it anyways. Everybody said the same thing about the first game as well, and I said, yeah, it sucked. It was $30, but I still enjoyed it. It's still one of my favorite games, and it doesn't really. It's like you can see the love and care that was put into this game, so it didn't really bother me as much. What is up, Serial Killer, the official Game Cat trademark, and Dead Ringer, Great Tantrum. Hello, JB. Good to see you guys. Moss 2 versus Lucky's Tale VR. I think I've gotten more hours out of Lucky's Tale, which is crazy. Lucky's Tale is a game that I do think could have been a little bit cheaper. That could have been in the $15 range. And I did, for those talking about No Man's Sky, I did mention I actually kicked off the stream with No Man's Sky, so make sure you go back and check that out. But I haven't gone deep into it, so I'm hoping to do a stream at some point where we really, really dive deep and you get to see my reactions live on the stream, and that should be really, really cool. Let's see. Moss 3, I hope. I think Shades of Grey Matter says, I think the price is harder to justify PSVR 2 on the horizon. Yeah, and no word on backwards compatibility on upgrade paths. That's a really good point. All signs are pointing toward, at this time, at this very moment, that PSVR 2 is not going to be backwards compatible, that they're going to have remasters and things like that. So that is a very good point. And I actually wonder if that has something to play into, if that's going to play into this year a little bit. We've got games like Ultra Wings 2 that are delaying, that are basically, they've gone back and forth, and now they're saying that they're not going to be on PSVR 1 again. And I think it's a smart business decision. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Unless you're just unless you have no connections with Sony, then, starting somewhere with Sony would be good. But if you're already in the door and everybody's excited about PSVR 2, and you're wanting to make money, yeah, it's probably better to hold off at this point. We've gotten the big three of this year. We've covered one. We just covered Moss Book 2. There was three big releases that we knew about. and I think my whole point of this episode is to say that, hey, even beyond these 3 games, there have been some other standout things, and some of these smaller indie games, some of these more low profile games, have actually been pretty damn kick ass. So pretty happy about that. AP in the house, what up, man? Good night from Italy. Ciao, my friend. Yes, I will see you tomorrow on demand. I love it, man. Thank you so much. Have a great night, my friend. Let's see. Jazzy J says, I love experiencing No Man's Sky vicariously through AJ. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been a little tired tonight. So after this stream, the plan is to, my presence hasn't been maybe as much as I would want it to be on the channel doing stuff. But I've been playing stuff in my free time. Like I said, Lucky's Tale, some No Man's Sky. There's more stuff. There's got Synth Riders just released this Lindsey Sterling pack, which I actually do want to check out. And there was something else I thought, but not the Transformers game, but I felt like there was some other update or something else. I don't know. I'm starting to fall behind a little bit though because of my schedule, but I'm trying my best to keep up, and also still doing Gamescast every Monday. So you can't kill me. Let's see. Dan Kiefer says, AJ, do you have people here that are barely aware of the awesome No Man's Sky update? You need to remedy this. Rewind to the beginning of the video. Well, actually, yeah, there's a lot of cats that actually play No Man's Sky quite a bit. I know Nick and there's a couple guys, Alcoholic something in the Discord. So make sure you join our Discord where we talk about it a bunch. But yeah, I can't wait to show off some gameplay of that. I have to get the Lucky's Tale Platinum tonight. I don't have many hours when I get home from work to do stuff. So like I have to squeeze in some time to get that Lucky's Tale Platinum. I'm so close. And then it's No Man's Sky time. Maybe this weekend or something, early in the weekend, I'll do a stream on it. So, good to see all of you guys, man. I appreciate you being here tonight. I know it's late, but we are the late night crew. Thursday night live stream, AJ's Choice. That's a good idea. I should get one pick in Viewer's Choice, shouldn't I? I used to do that. When I started Viewer's Choice, I would start off the stream just playing whatever game I wanted to. And yeah, I kind of do miss doing that, but I like leaving it up to you guys too, because at the end of the day, I can just stream whatever I want if I really felt like it. Brucey, the new job is going great, man. I'm exhausted all the time, though. It's like a 9-to-5 job. It's like almost an hour drive. So when I get home for Gamescast on Mondays, I literally hit the door like 15 minutes before the show. And I just couldn't do that 3 days a week. I couldn't do that. I couldn't dedicate myself 3 days a week, which is why I moved it to 1. Here, at least I get to start when I want to. I get to kind of have a looser schedule. I want to keep this consistent, but I could see at some points having to take breaks or something as I get adjusted still. But the job is going really well, man, and it's keeping a roof over my head. So, this is turning into an AMA, which is fine, absolutely, because I want to just this isn't just about the flashy, awesome PSVR stuff. I want you guys to want to connect with you guys some too and interact with you. That's what it's all about, man. I mean, you guys are the reason I started doing this shit in the first place. I've had so much support from you since day one, and I can't thank you enough, man. And so I always feel like super motivated and determined to do my best, even whatever I can to make enhance the fun for all of us, man, because I have a good time too. But Brackburr says, as long as you let us choose 6 to 8 games, you can. Yeah, we do 8 games on Saturday Night Live streams. I love those streams, man. They're so much fun. And thanks, Brucey, for asking, man. It has been really nice. Yeah, Dan Q says, wait, you had it at the beginning of the video, but Brian was streaming. What are you doing to me? Hey, man, I've told Brian that I do this, that I'm going to be doing this, and, whatever. Like, we try not to cross the streams, but we both, we both do our own thing, and it's just more content for you at the end of the day. Hopefully, more awesome content. Although I really would have skipped Hop Along the Badlands. How did that even go? Did he even like it, or was he like, oh no, this isn't very good? Did he have a good time? I could see him having fun because it's fun to mess around with and whatnot. But God, it's such a terrible game. Archangel, however, I do love that game. So, Dan Keeper, yeah, man, I love what Wes and Miles are doing. They really bring in another dynamic, and we're still going to be doing things, and it should be a pretty bright future for what we have planned. But we're just taking it slow. We're getting adjusted. And he said so. Brian said it was as good, if not better, than the first time he played it in 2017. He is on crack. That game is so terrible. Oh man. But I do like his new setup he's going for, though. Looks like he's like me. He's got some things to iron out, but it's getting there, But I do like how he's starting to add his camera and stuff. That's pretty cool stuff. Never crossed the streams. Yeah. Well, that's good to see that he that he was having a good time. I'm glad, because that's what's important at the end of the day. Speaking of having a good time, at number 3, we have Zenith Vr, the very first console MMO RPG, and man, did you guys turn out big for this one. But before we get into that, Donatello, the guy scientist game cat, says best Western themed game on PSVR. That would be Pistol Whip's Smoke and Thunder update. That is, in my opinion, the best. That is absolutely the best Western themed PSVR experience that I can think of off the top of my head. To be honest with you, I've wanted a great Western game. Hold on, we'll come back to Zenith in a second. I've wanted a great Western game, but they all pretty much suck. I mean, there was Cold Iron, which was like okay for 5 minutes. There's been some like these Copper Canyon Shootout, which most of you probably don't even know what it is. Copper Canyon Shootout was like, I mean, that's like one of the best offerings, and it's not very good. There's what's that one called with the really weird name? It's like it's not Guns N' Roses. It's like it's almost got like a Guns N' Roses type name. Somebody will remember maybe, but there's Guns and Stories. That's what it is. Guns and Stories, which I think the last time I played it actually wasn't that. So that's no, I'm wrong. That game was like, they polished it up. They actually did a couple updates to it, and it got better, but it was still like 10 minutes and you get bored of it. Cave Digger, I want to like Cave Digger so bad. I feel bad because I feel like Cave Digger almost does everything right. Like it's got these it's really interactive. It's got a like solid game loop, but it's just not fun. Like, and that to me is like the most important part. Is it fun to play? I don't know. I'm okay with games sometimes being janky, sometimes having flaws, as you'll see soon, but they got to be fun to play at the end of the day. And I feel like a game can get everything right, but if it's not fun, then what's the point? Like, isn't that why we play games, is to have fun and have a good time? I just didn't think. I thought it was so boring, even though it does like a lot of things right. But anyways, that is my answer for best Western. I hope we do get a great Western game in the future, because I think it's such a great theme that would be really fun to role play in VR and kind of the best Western stuff you can find right now. Like I said, are DLC or little mini games or modes or something, but there's not an actual like great Western game. Where's Red Dead Redemption 2 in VR? That's what we need on PSVR 2. I want Red Dead Redemption. Yes, Dan Kiefer said it. Great minds think alike, man. We need Red Dead Redemption 2 like something awful in VR so bad. More so, like, I also want Cyberpunk 2077, completely different developers, but I think about it a lot. Just I think about PSVR all the time and PSVR 2 all the time. And yeah, I'm like, man, I would still love Cyberpunk 2077. But a game that is even more ready, I feel like, would be definitely Red Dead series. Yeah, hop along. Sirens on my end. The game cat. Yeah, hop along. The Badlands never goes on sale. It went on sale like once, I think. Virtual Stranger says, "Get that PC going, man." I don't know what my problem is, man. I have some work to do, but yeah, I don't know what it is that I'm so addicted to PSVR. You know, I have a Quest. I have some PC stuff that I can rig up, and it's just so hard to bring myself to do it, but I have to do it. I will eventually do it. Hopefully. I promised myself that I would do it this year. It was like one of my New Year's resolutions. What the hell is the point of New Year's resolutions? It's just like, here's something I'm going to promise to not do. That I'm going to promise that I'm going to do that I'm not going to do. Nick the Game Cat House says, I'm playing Doom 3 halfway through it. Am glad it is left-handed for aim. Oh, that's good. I can't play Doom VFR with the aim. Oh, that sucks. Well, yeah, man, glad you're enjoying Doom 3. Another game that's like not really flashy, has a lot of issues, but I still love the hell out of it. Like, I think it's a terrible port. I've said it a million times. I think Doom 3 is such a awful port. The way it looks, the way it feels. I mean, the aim controller even like, I think it even like drifts with one, like on the DLC modes with one of the weapons. I don't think it was finished really. I think I don't know. I really expected a lot more from Archaeac because I think Archaeac are actually really good developers. Stuff like Freediver, Triton Down was really good, even if it was small. But they've also had their hands on so many things. Blast of the Universe, and even Evasion. I really liked Evasion, even though that game was a complete flop. I actually thought it's pretty solid for what it was. Wasn't anything special for sure, but yeah, I definitely expected a little bit more for Doom 3, especially when you see people like one guy in his basement modding these things and doing like an amazing job. And it's like, come on, you're running around as a studio and you can't get something like up to this quality. So I don't know if it had to do with Bethesda being bought by Microsoft and they had to ran out of time, if they didn't get enough money or what. But I still really, really, despite all these things, I still really enjoyed Doom 3. I think and honestly, I didn't like Doom 3 flat. I'm a big fan of the Doom series since the first one, the first two, and I thought 2016 like really revitalized the series for me. But Doom 3, I always was just like, I wasn't too great. I never thought it was great. But I liked it in VR and that's for sure. And I feel like I'm so weird for saying this, but I feel like I almost liked it better with the DualShock 4. No. Okay, I didn't like it better with the DualShock 4. I feel like they implemented the DualShock 4 better than they did the aim controller. The DualShock 4 feels really good. And it has like lots of rumble when you're using the chainsaw and stuff and all this stuff. But anyways, I digress again. Let's see here. Every time I try to get into PC gaming, I run into something that doesn't work without jumping through hoops and I turn it off. Darkwing Chuck, the PSVR 2 cents cat. What up, homie? Yeah. I don't mind tinkering with stuff. I feel like what happens with a lot of PC gamers is they spend all their time getting it to run and then they're so exhausted that they don't even play it. Obviously that's not true, but that's my own stereotype I tell myself in my head. Paul Friedman, hey, hope your foot continues to feel better. Thank you so much, man. Do you think it makes sense for someone to buy a PSVR system these days with the new console coming out? I was thinking of getting it, but not sure. That's a really good question. The thing is, it's a tough one to say. I mean, I would say yes, because you have access to a huge library that is often cheap, and there's tons of amazing games. I mean, I wouldn't expect like any more big new releases this year. But man, unless you have to save that money for a PS5 and a PSVR 2 in the future, PSVR 2 is going to be coming most likely, unless something changed, it comes directly from Sony that it is coming out in Q1 2023. So unless something changes there, or you just wait for PSVR 2. If you have the money to buy a PSVR 1 right now, I would say absolutely, and get a PS5 and a PSVR 2 in the future. Yeah, absolutely, 110%. I will always recommend a PSVR to people. I think it's amazing. I play the shit out of it. I play it more than anything else. I am a little biased. I think it's amazing though, and I think if it's your first time into VR, I think you should have a hell of a time. But there are what probably Peepo is saying. There's a couple things to consider. There's definitely some things to take into consideration, like but overall, and I wouldn't get one. I wouldn't pay like full price, like $350 whatever. I'd get like either a used one or find one cheap somewhere. How hard is it to get an adapter? Probably, I don't think that hard. I mean, I've heard different experiences, but you just fill out the serial number and they should get it for you. But no problem, Paul. Thank you, man. Appreciate you dropping by. And Foot's doing great. Luckily, it's doing a lot better. So. Yeah, I do wish they did drop the price on PSVR, Wes. I wish they did a price drop well, they have dropped it during Black Friday sales and stuff over the years, but yeah, I think ever since 2020 they kind of stopped doing the November price drops and stuff. I think as demand went down, the price kind of stayed the same. They kind of did the same thing with the PS4 Pro as well. But yeah, man, you'll have a hell of a time, and you'll be able to get a shit ton of games for dirt cheap. I see nothing wrong with it. It's just there might be a little bit of a learning curve. Might have some, might have to get used to like what the right setup is and everything. But, anyways, Zenith VR, the first MMO RPG, came out this year in January. And man, hundreds of you showed up. Well, at least 100 or 150. What do you call it when it's over 100? But a bunch of people. The biggest turnout I've seen, the most people I've seen for like a multiplayer game, pretty much since Firewall 0 Hour in 2018, turned up for this game. And man, it is just an amazing open world game. The reason it's at number 3, I think I have it right now, is because it has some ways to go. I think this game is going to keep developing and become even better in the future. But I think they have a wonderful foundation for the game. I think there's plenty to do right now, and it's only going to get better in the future as time goes on. But yeah, I sank like 200 hours into this game, if not more. Sometimes we still play it with the multiplayer meetup. But yeah, I'm a big MMO guy, so it kind of depends if you like MMOs. But yeah, I think MMOs are awesome. I played a lot of World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn. And yeah, man, I really, really, really love this game. And I think it's an amazing open world. I think it's a technical achievement, what they pull off. And I can't wait to see what else they do with this as time goes on. And I think it's only going to get better and better. They have some huge investments. Mark Smith, what up, man? Good to see you, dude. You can go ahead and watch the beginning later. We got some cool stuff. A little bit of No Man's Sky from my boy Dan Kiefer in the beginning. We're also just kind of shooting the shit, chatting a little bit, having some fun. Right after the stream, I'm going to go get the Lucky's Tale Platinum. Yes, because that is on my mission. That is an absolute priority of mine tonight. But yeah, man, looking forward to see what else Zenith has to offer. They got tons of new stuff. The Cyber Ninja class should be dropping at some point, so that's going to be really fun. So this is another example of a game that is really fun at launch, and then we'll just continue to get better and better and better as time goes on. Scott Jesco Peace in here, fellow PSVR game cat for life, says tip from the front line. Watch later. Thank you so much. He says hashtag toe, hashtag drink. I wish I had my drink with me. But I'm not gonna lie, I had to take a couple sips of beer before the stream because I was just so tired from work and so worn out. I needed some liquid courage. But thank you, man. Oh, there he goes. Got a little Astro Dance too. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Yep. If you donate here through Streamlabs, I think the Astro on Streamlabs is bigger actually. Just word just for later. But anyways, so this is definitely a swordsman tale. Just keeps getting better. Yeah. I mean, oh man, and you remind me, Swordsman May 26th next month. Yeah, that's gonna be really cool. I that's another studio I'm keeping my eye on. They're just doing all the right moves. So I can't wait to see what Sin Studio does. I'm gonna keep bugging them until they make a Souls game in VR. I think if you take Swordsman's physics and combat and you make like a Dark Souls or Elden Ring, or personally my favorite Bloodborne style game out of it in VR, oh my god, you got it made. That's gonna be a lot of work though to accomplish that. All right, so the number 2 best thing and the number 1 best game of 2022 so far is this one, Wanderer. Man, I don't know what to say about this, but again, talking about technical achievements and what this game, I firmly believe this is the best game of 2022. It really, really blew my mind, the experience with this game. And this is a puzzle game. That's coming from me saying a puzzle game is the best game of the year so far. Because I think it deserves it, man. The cinematic storytelling, I won't spoil anything, don't worry. The cinematic storytelling, the interactive shit in the game, the graphics, the music. I think the music was good if I remember. Just so many things about this game, the production value that it has is something truly incredible. And typically when a console is getting near the end of its lifespan, you tend to get some of the best shit that comes out for the game. This game was slightly held back by the PSVR being so dated and whatnot, but it still achieved some of the best looking graphics and just, I think what impressed me too was just how captivated I was by just the events taking place and time travel and nailing a really cool story that surrounds time travel. I think it's really, really amazing what they accomplished with this game. And yeah, this is like an absolute must play, a must have. Maybe even I would think it's going to get a PSVR 2 remaster as well. So yeah, there is a physical edition too for you guys out in Europe as well. Perp Games has a physical copy. They said they were sending me one. I don't know what happened to it. But if they don't end up sending one, I'm going to buy it because this is definitely a collector's item for me. I love to collect games that I really, really love. I don't collect everything, but games that mean a lot to me, I do like to collect physical editions of. Just like why I have To the Top and a couple other ones. But yeah, this game, I don't know if there's there's definitely not another game this year that blew my mind as much as this one. But man, and coming from such a small team to have such high production values is really something crazy. But I think what it is it's the adventure. I love adventure, and I love putting on a VR headset and going on an adventure. And I feel like that's the one thing that really makes this game special. You can have a puzzle game, you can have an action game. It doesn't matter. But if, like I said, if it's not fun, then there's no point to it. And this game really has the fun factor and really good pacing overall. And man, like I said, there's just so many surprises, and the discovery here is just amazing. And the way that you time travel and the way the time travel affects the world can be absolutely mind-blowing. And then this is the best part about this game. Not only is it super interactive, it is like everything we love about VR, being able to reach out and grab everything. But you can, there's a lot of items in the game, and the way you can take some of these items with you and go take them to other areas and have fun with them in different ways and do different things. I'm trying to keep it very spoiler free. Is really, I think, what also makes it super special. Amazing game. And like I said, man, just an amazing year overall so far. And I hope it really doesn't get overlooked. And I hope these games get a second chance with PSVR 2, because I feel like these are like top 25 games. These are some of the best games we could have, and we're getting them at the end of the life cycle. Some of the best games PSVR has to offer. But you know, the timing is a little unfortunate. And I don't think we're gonna have this problem in the future. But Looper says various parts of Wander reminded me of Dick Wild 2, Mini Motor Racing X, Catch and Release, The Invisible Hours, Durasane, Hitman, Sniper Elite, Keep Talking, Nobody Exposed. That's pretty funny, man. Yeah, definitely like Red Matter and stuff. Steve Irie in the house tonight. What's up, dude? Says, isn't Undead Citadel coming for PSVR 1? Undead Citadel is not coming to PSVR 1. I think I have a pizza bet with Brian on this. It is not. There's no chance in hell Undead Citadel is coming to PS. Well, I mean, it could, but if you asked my opinion, there's absolutely zero chance it comes to PSVR 1. Zero. But I just hope we get it one day. I'll be happy if they release it for PSVR 2 and it's good, and I'll be very, very happy. That is definitely a game I still want. Classic Peepo. I tricked you. I didn't want to make it too obvious. This is the best of 2022. Oh, hold on. Wait. He says he's confused. He doesn't know what happened. If Zenith and Wander have already been mentioned. Well, my friend, let me tell you what the best thing that is happening and has happened with in 2022 so far. Lots of new people joining. What up, Jupiter Skies? Waiting for PSVR 2. VR Demon. Yes, awesome, man. Glad you guys agree. Good to see you, homie. Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry. Is Wander how Doctor Who should have been? Yes, very much so. But I don't really care because it's its own IP. Somebody brought up that, like, you know, they want new IPs. They don't want remakes. And yes, I agree. We will eventually get there where VR has the foundation where new IPs can come out and they're so good that they take over the world by storm. And yeah, we need stuff like that in the future, you know. But right now, I think remasters, remakes, stuff like that are a great Trojan horse. A great way to Trojan horse people into playing VR and then things like that, converting people to VR. And that will happen eventually, but it's going to take some time. There will be games, you know, that explode, but look at like what happened with Astrobot. You know, Astrobot, it didn't achieve like a VR mainstream level of success. It got close, I think. You know, stuff like Firewall Zero Hour has had lots of success, but hasn't been like converting people, getting up there to like the non-VR numbers yet, and attention yet. And it's going to take some time before, you know, if games can be that good and still not take over the world by storm, then it's just, you know, needs more time. But what up, Delirium VR? Good to see you, homie. Is Undead Citadel coming to anything? That's the question. That is a good question, virtual strangers. I'd like to think yes. I will be pretty. I've said no about PSVR 1, but I still have hope that it will eventually come to us. It seems like it. All right. So the number one thing, the best thing of 2022 so far, guys. We went through the games. Let's do the games real quick. We had Lucky's Tale, Republic, Stride, Mossbook 2, Zenith, Wanderer. I think that was it. And I did an honorable mention to No Man's Sky. Is this little thing called PSVR 2, baby? The announcement, the getting to see the headset, getting all of the information around PSVR 2, the hype rises, my friends. As we go and get ready for the future. Yes, and that does include Horizon Call of the Mountain as well. Let's see here. But yeah, man, this is absolutely the best part about 2022 so far is all the news that we've finally been waiting for and finally getting. Well, I didn't say best games of 2022, and I had to subvert your expectations a little bit. But yeah, man, everything I'm hearing about PSVR 2, you guys, from developers, from, mainly from developers, has been really, really amazing. And just what I've been able to see myself, this is easily the biggest highlight this year for us it has been the stuff we've seen from PlayStation VR 2, and I really hope to see more soon. But just being patient. I'd rather get something that's fully polished and just the best it can be. And but yeah, man, it's going to be an exciting time as we gear up for the beginning of 2023. I still think PSVR 2 pre-orders. I feel like they'll still go live at holiday 2022. I think we'll be able to pre-order it. Maybe I could be wrong there. That's just a guess. But I feel like it would be a cool thing to be able to pre-order over the holidays and then get. But I could totally see them, if it's supposed to release in Q1, it could be anywhere through there. And, around tax season makes sense. Who knows? But, yeah, if we count the announcements. Yeah, but, the Saints and Sinners 2 announcement, definitely a good one. But we have to kind of wait and see more on that next week. I'm waiting to see a little bit more. But guys, yeah, this has been an amazing, amazing year. I know, for those of us left that are still playing our PSVR Gen 1s, I feel like we've actually gotten some really, really good games because that is what it's about. And, when it comes to PSVR 2, something I was saying earlier was I don't think this is going to be sort of the problem that we've run into with PSVR 1 with the hardware being dated. I don't think this is going to be as much of a problem this gen. I think PSVR 2 is going to be much more marketable. I think it's going to have much bigger games. These hybrid AAA titles from first party and third party developers, indie developer games. There's going to be some amazing shit that comes to this headset for years and years and years to come. Think about where we are right now with PSVR 1 and the games that we're getting. We've gotten 2 exclusives this year. And think about what we're getting now and how amazing those would have been if it was PSVR 2 or next gen hardware. That's going to happen again, man. And it's going to be amazing. It's just going to get better and better. And I don't really, I don't know whether or not PSVR 2 is going to just take off right away. But I can tell you that I don't see any reason why it's not going to, even if it doesn't absolutely explode right out the gate, it will pick up momentum and developers will still release bigger and bigger games for it and have access to tools and funding and support to create bigger projects for it. And it's going to be something truly, truly incredible, guys. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this interactive chat volume 10. I know the schedule's still kind of all over the place. I'm going to go get that damn Lucky's Tale Platinum. and then hopefully have some streams on No Man's Sky. We're going to take a look at No Man's Sky this weekend maybe. Do a deep dive on that and see all the stuff that's going to have to offer. So you guys, thank you so much for, just supporting me, supporting the channel, supporting PSVR. I hope you're still playing and having fun out there. Yeah, man, thank you for the donations. Thank you for buying the merch. Really appreciate it. I did not expect so many of you to buy the merchandise. Again, non-profit merchandise. It's just if you want gear, some PSVR Underground gear. And yeah, man, and thank you also for following me on Twitch and stuff and getting that growing when I do some just like extra gaming stuff for fun. Hopefully can do some more on there soon as well. But you guys have a wonderful rest of the night, man. And I will see you on the next interactive chat. You guys